Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Wednesday, April 7th. We're going to be going over today's news headlines here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we're also going to let you come in video chat, or if you want to chat in the chat room, that's fine. So let's go ahead and send those links out to you. And that will be those links are sent out. That one's on that's sent out to YouTube and Twitter. We'll send it out to Facebook, and then we'll get started here with today's news headlines. There we go. Okay, everything's set up. So let's go ahead and begin looking at. Let's go ahead and begin doing sports headlines. I'm going to be doing that in a second. So let me switch this to ESPN. So let's see what's happening. Okay, breaking news about Tiger Woods' crash a couple of months ago. Excessive speed caused Tiger Woods' SUV to crash. The sheriff says so. That's what they're saying. So that's the cause of the accident that happened with Tiger Woods back on February 23rd. So Woods' SUV was traveling at 84 to 87 miles an hour downhill stretch of road outside of Los Angeles. The speed limit was 45. He was going 75 when he hit a car. So no traffic citation was issued for Tiger Woods. But the truth of the matter is, look, why in the hell is he going 75 mile an hour in a 45 mile an hour speed zone? I don't get it. I mean, look, that was a lot of fishy situation going on with this crash, to tell you the truth. I mean, look, he didn't just hit a tree. I think he was going. They said he was going 75 miles an hour. When you're going 84 to 87 miles an hour, you're going to crash into something. That's just something to consider, folks. I mean, look, he wasn't drunk or nothing. He had his seatbelt on, but when you go 84 to 87 miles an hour, and also going 75 in a 45, that's a lot of things that's going to happen. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So we are showing you the article right here. So that's what occurred with Tiger Woods' crash. So we'll move along. Okay, Arizona coach Sean Miller has been fired after his years with Arizona. So he is no longer the head coach at Arizona. So Arizona was wasn't brought into a 2017 investigation of corruption in college basketball. The school the NCAA charged the school with level 5 violations, according to the allegations released last month. So that once again, they also accepted a 1-year ban and from the postseason. So it looks like they're not going to be in postseason play. So once again, their coach Sean Miller no longer coach at Arizona. So this is from ESPN. Jeff Bazzillo is the writer on this article. Pretty good article. Please Okay, Masters chairman Freddie Ridley against burden Augusta with boycott of with Georgia's law. So that's what he said. So there will not be a boycott for the Masters. So like I said, look, if like I said, they need these corporations need to stand up to these draconian laws that's happening in these states like Georgia, for instance. I mean, look, to be honest with you, look, I think it's good. Sure, he don't want to be bogged down with the boycott, but look, you have to do what's right. Because look, you got the Masters is a diverse situation. So hopefully they can do the right thing and kind of boycott Georgia, because look, a lot of them wants to because it's gonna cost a lot of money for the state of Georgia. But the truth of the matter is, look, you got to weave out what's right and what's wrong. That's what. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, see what else we have. Okay, Nike suspends Deshaun Watson's sponsorship. Beats by Dre also ended the deal as well. So both Nike and Beats by Dr. Dre is not going to be supporting Deshaun Watson anymore. So that's once again, that is what's going to happen. So 22 women filed a lawsuit against him last month. So that's once again, they're going to be also watching. Also had a partnership with Rolex and Herb. That's HEB. And also Lefty Cheese Steak franchise in Houston. So it looks like there are going to be a lot of people pulling out of their out of his deals. So that's unfortunate for Deshaun Watson. To have a sponsorship taken from him. But the truth of the matter is, look, when you do something that's stupid and that wrong, you deserve to get your stuff taken away from you. So that's like I said, I don't have no sympathy for Deshaun Watson. I really don't. I definitely don't have no sympathy. Like if he did that to them 22 women, he should be gone. Period. End of story. I mean, look, I don't want to hear anybody come on here and say, "Well, you just bashing Deshaun Watson for no reason," and they just them women might be lying and all that. No, if if he did it, why? Like I said, why do they have these lawsuits? Why? That's what I don't understand. If he didn't do it, then why have the lawsuits? So this from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, former Florida State wide receiver Travis Rudolph charged with first-degree murder. So it looks like he is going. It was with a firearm in Palm Beach County, California, according to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's officers responded to a double shooting on Wednesday morning at Lake Park, Florida. That's in Palm Beach County. Also, and that's also in West Palm Beach. While transporting from the scene of the shooting to the hospital. So the sheriff office didn't not release any additional information on the arrest record. Rudolph, 25 years old, was Florida State's wide receiver from 2015 to 2016. He had 2,311 yards. He also left early for the NFL draft. Rudolph finished his NFL career with 8 catches for 101 yards. So, like I said, look, that right there, see, when this young man done something like that, murder somebody, look, he don't deserve to play NFL football. He does not deserve to play NFL football. Look, when the NFL don't come down on players that beat their wives or rob a bank or whatever, but they're going to come down on people kneeling for the national anthem. That's a complete double standard when it comes down to it. So, like I said, look, he has to start. They have to start learning responsibility. When they do something that's stupid, they have to have responsible. They have to be responsible. So I don't feel a bit sorry for this young man. So he unfortunately ruined his life in the fold. But that's like I said, he did a murder. Like I said, with a firearm, he should spend time in jail. So. Once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So let's see what else we have. Okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady realized another way to achieve NFL success. For 20 seasons, he knew the only way was the Patriot way, but it was just an additional season. Realized to achieve success. When you're in one place for 20 years, you think the only way. Tom Brady told Good Morning America, he was in an interview on Wednesday. So, look, I'll be honest with you. Look, he's in Tampa Bay now. I think, like I said, the only way would be his way. So that's just my saying right there with Tom Brady. So because he achieved a lot in his years, winning 6 Super Bowls, also winning one for Tampa Bay. So that's like I said, that's water under the bridge for Tom Brady. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, what else we have? Okay, Toronto's George Springer dealing with quad issues, so looks like he is going to be out for a few weeks because he's dealing with quad issues. So he is back on track to play Thursday. So hopefully he was dealing with that. So hopefully he can heal and get back to the playing fields. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay. Also, if you want to come in and chime in about anything in the world of sports, please chime in through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter chat rooms. Or if you want to come in video chat with us, you could come on camera. You can you go through the StreamYard links, and it'll take you right to the studio where I can put you in, and you'll be on camera. So if you don't want to do that, that's fine with me. Okay. See what else we have. Okay. Jim Schwartz returns to Tennessee Titans as a defensive assistant. So he is going to be on the staff of the Tennessee Titans. He spent 10 years with them from 1999 to 2008, 10 seasons with them. So Tennessee earned the sixth playoff berth, also AFC Championship game, and also in the Super Bowl. So he also spent his 14 years as a defensive coordinator with the Bills and the Lions from 2009-13. Also with Philadelphia from 16 to 2020. So I think Jim Schwartz is gonna is coming back to the Tennessee Titans. So if you're a Tennessee Titan fan, you think Jim Schwartz is a good investment for the Tennessee Titans, you can post your comments through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Okay, what else we have? Okay, unwritten rule made to be broken. How a new generation of players is shifting the Major League Baseball culture. So this is from June Lead. You can follow him at ESPN. He has a pretty good article out. One is Fernando Tatis. It's another guy that's making headways in the new MLB. These players, like I said, this is another one. Bat flips that changed baseball. That's another culture thing. Jose Batista is another one. So I'll be honest with you. Look, all these players that's coming up in this in the major leagues now, they're definitely going to change the game for the better. I mean, look, like I said, these young players coming out of college and coming out of the minors and stuff like that. So that's one thing about the major leagues. I mean, major leagues are going to change year after year after year after year. That's how it is. It's never going to stay the same. So that's another. So MLB Fashion Show. Bryce Harper has his cleats right there. So that's pretty cool. But I don't think the major leagues will let the commissioner will let them use those cleats. So we probably have to change those cleats. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Also tonight we'll have Pelicans and Nets tonight. That'll be later on this evening on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We will have that for you. Okay. Okay. Oops. There it is. How NBA players built a perfect alley-oop tag team. So that's Andrew Lopez's article. Mike Conley. So this is a pretty good article by Andrew Lopez, to say the least, about the alley-oops and stuff like that. Look, Zion Williamson and Jackson Hayes and all of them, they're making dunks that will end up on ESPN and stuff like that. So that's something right there that is never going to change. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, let's give you an MLB scoreboard update. Let's see if we got any games going on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll give you an update on those games. Okay, we'll go to the scoreboard updates. Okay, MLB scoreboard update at 1:45 Central Time. Middle of the seventh inning, it is Atlanta on top 7-5. That game's going on up in Washington. Also, Cincinnati on top 9-0, top eighth. Also, Cleveland in the bottom of the sixth, down 1-0. Cleveland is batting, runner at first and one out. Also, Minnesota on top 3-2. They have a runner at first and two outs. Also, Boston on top 3-1. That game's in the bottom of the fifth. Runner at first and one out for the Red Sox. Also, Rangers on top 2-0. That game's in the top of the third. Toronto is batting. They have a runner at first and two outs. Also, Cubs and Brewers scoreless. Other games later on. The Braves will have game 2. That'll be around 2:05. So that they're trying to get finish the first game. They'll have the second game. That'll probably be around because they're still in the seventh. They're probably going to be. It's going to probably be around 2:30, 2:45, around 45 minutes after the first game. Dodgers will take on A's. Mets will take on Phillies. White Sox will take on Mariners. Padres will take on Giants. Cardinals and Mariners will play at 3:10 in Miami. Also, Yankees will take on the Orioles, and also D-backs will take on Rockies out in Denver tonight. So that's going to be around 7:40. So Major League Baseball in the afternoon. So your scores on the screen. So we just gave you a scoreboard update. So let's move along. Here, let's move along to the Pro Sports Daily. Let's see what's happening on the Pro Sports Daily sites. I'm about to put that in. Let's get that in. Okay, Pro Sports Daily. Talked about this already. That's from ESPN. Let's go over to Giovanni Bernard released after 8 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. So he is no longer going to be playing for the Cincinnati Bengals after today. He was released, saving $4.1 million in cap space. They dropped the Bengals to 10th in the NFL in cap space for running back. So he is going to be released. So he will find another team. So this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. Okay. Lauren Markin benched. Demotion could make him an intriguing free agent in the offseason. So I think that most likely will happen between Lauren Markin. So I think it's imperative. Look, the Bulls wants to go another direction. I think they absolutely want to go another direction to get some quality players that could be a caliber championship contender or a playoff contender. So I think that's probably going to happen with those with Markham. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. I talked about. Okay, this is another Deshaun Watson story. Once again, Deshaun Watson attorney claims accuser number 1 demanded $100,000 in hush money before she filed a lawsuit. So that's what they're saying about that. So that's probably was the first accuser, filed the sexual misconduct lawsuit against Houston Texans star on March 16th. She used to protect her identity. That's what she did. So that's once again, that's from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. Let's see what else we have. I just talked about just talked about his sponsors being dropped. So let's see another. Okay, also Reliant Energy terminated his ambassadorship, so it looks like he's no longer going to be having those sponsorships and ambassadorships. So that is going. So that's from Reliant Energy. So it looks like they're going to be they're not done with him yet. So they're going to take his So that's from Pro Sports Daily. So let's see. Okay, Jets general manager Joe Douglas explains the Sam Darnold trade and what's next. So what's next? I'm pretty sure they're going to be going to get a new quarterback because look, be honest with you, Sam Darnold. Look, sure, he played with the New York Jets. He didn't have good years with the New York Jets, but the truth of the matter is they got to go get him another quarterback. Maybe in the draft, maybe in the free agency. So that's something they're going to have to do in this for this 2021 season begin. So this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, Bears reported shopping for Anthony Miller in trade talks. So it looks like so they're going to keep Allen Robinson as the leader of the wide receiver corps. According to Rappaport, Anthony Miller looks like he is going to be leaving Chicago. They're going to be looking to trade him. So that's kind of what's going to happen with Miller. So to be honest with you, look, I put it in perspective. Look, Allen Robinson was the leader of their wide receiver corps. So if they could get another wide receiver coming in from the draft or either free agency, they can, like I said, they can build up their football team with the quarterback that they're going to have. They're going to have Andy Dalton. So I'm gonna tell you, that's going to help their cause, building up, getting another wide receiver core, another person that's going to be that's going to come in and make some impacts for the Chicago Bears. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. Okay, NBA trade rumors and news. Kawhi back in LA, Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan on the move. So it looks like they're going to be on the move to another team. That's most likely going to happen with Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan. So that's teams. A lot of teams are looking for their services when it comes down to it. So this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. It's from The Athletic. Let's see what else we have. Okay, this is from Pro Basketball Talk. Doesn't matter. The next big three have had a little time together. So 7 games and fewer than 400 possessions. Brook Brooklyn's big three: Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, have reminded largely of the juggernauts. So I'll be honest with you, these three guys, Durant, Harden, and Irving. Look, those guys are no joke. So that's something right there. So they're going to make a big impact because they're also getting players that's going to be around those three guys. So I think Brooklyn right now can be a legitimate Eastern Conference playoff contender when it comes down to the at the end of the season. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. Okay, let's go over to this. Okay, number 2, big lead. 4 destinations for Teddy Bridgewater. So they have that's for trade destinations. So these are Chicago Bears, Houston Texans. So the Chicago Bears, Houston Texans. I'm going to go ahead and put the full article up. I'll give you it's from the big lead. So I'm going to give you those 4 destinations. So we have it right on the screen. 4 destinations: Chicago Bears, Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers, Denver Broncos. So that's your 4 destinations right there. That's the only 4. That's the only teams that could most likely pick up Teddy Bridgewater. So look, I would love to see him play. I would love to see him come back to the New Orleans Saints, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So that's once again, that's something that can be adjusted. So so I look at it this way: if Denver can get him, he could be a good quarterback for either of those 4 teams. Doesn't matter. So this is from Pro Sports Daily and also the Big Lead. You can follow them at the Big Lead. So let's see what else we have. Okay, Isaiah Thomas, the new acquisition for the New Orleans Pelicans, chose to honor Kobe Bryant by wearing his number 24. So he did wear that jersey last night against the Atlanta Hawks. So that's one good thing what he did is honor Kobe Bryant, because look, he came before Isaiah Thomas, and also Isaiah Thomas's dad senior came before him back in the 80s with the Bad Boys and stuff like that for the Detroit Pistons. So like I said, that is a great honor for Isaiah Thomas to wear Kobe Bryant's number 24. So this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. That's prosportsdaily.com. Let's see what else we have. All the Knicks and their big 15 are paired to join the Eastern Conference Elite. I'm going to say most likely it's probably going to be close. for them to join the elites in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be close. They're building their team up. They're absolutely building their team up to be a Eastern Conference elite. So it's going to take a few, maybe another year or something like that, to build up their team to be a Eastern Conference contender. But it's they still, like I said, their progress, process to success is not far away. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Daily. Go to prosportsdaily.com. So let's see what else we have. Okay, Raptors signed forward Freddie Gillespie from the Memphis Hustle. That's I think that's the G League team for the Memphis Grizzlies. So they signed Freddie Gillespie. So so that's signing right there. Came out. That's from Raptors HQ. Follow them at Raptors HQ. That's Raptors HQ. So let's move along here on Sports Talk. So once again, we'll go over some Twitters. Let's switch this out. We'll go over some Twitters. I get ready to go over the Twitters with you. So I'm going to switch it over to Twitter, see what we have on the Twitter updates. Okay, let's go over to this one. Okay, Travis Jewett, that's FL Teams. So we'll read that. Alexander Buckle provided all offense for the Cats. So that was so it's all once again, this is from FL Teams, Isaac Ellerman, my co-host for this show sometimes. Please follow his work as they got some great talent workers. So we're gonna go over some. Let's see what else we have. Okay, Giannis and Damian Lillard still offer a long shot for the NBA MVP race. So I think that's going to be a race coming down to the end between Giannis, Damian Lillard, and no Ken Jokin. That's another guy that's going to be a contender for the MVP race. So I think this race is going to come down to either one of those stars. So once again, this is from Blazer Nation CP. That's Clutch Point. Follow them at Blazer Nation CP. Okay, Atlanta wins 6-1. So Atlanta wins 6-1 in their game against. Washington wins 6-1. Excuse me. I'm saying Atlanta. Washington winning 6-1 in their game. So that was their first W for the 7-6. So Atlanta wins 7-6. I was right, 7-6. in that one. Okay. All right. What else we have? Okay. This is from Ian Rappaport. A servant WWFT signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. 49ers made a big trade that was up to number 3. This will be interesting going forward. So that's once again, this is from Ian Rappaport. Follow him at Rap Sheet. That's Rap Sheet. Okay, we'll see what else we have. Sam Amico. Let's give you Sam Amico's article. Marquise Chris and Ian Shamper, and also Michael Gilchrist. Lot of signings this past week. So this is from 40 Minutes. Sam Amico is that is the writer. Follow him at Amico Hoops. That's Amico Hoops. See what else we have. And then we'll wrap it up this afternoon. Okay, this is for Arel Epstein talking about the NHL trade deadline. Let's go ahead and hear what she had to say. That was on the morning after show this morning. So let's hear what she had to say.
Taylor Hall has been a big disappointment with the Buffalo Sabres, but was the MVP of the league like 3 seasons ago. So, and still has much higher capability than what he's offered this season. Only 2 goals on the season. Some serious bounce back appeal for that player if he goes to a contending team out there, like say the Boston Bruins or the New York Islanders, who still have to make up for that Anders Lee season-ending injury. So definitely all eyes are on Taylor Hall. One guy that could be a better piece than Taylor Hall that could go to either of those teams too is Kyle Palmieri from the Devils. Quietly one of the best power play goal producers in the entire NHL over the past 4 or 5 seasons with New Jersey. So that's one guy that could play on the top 6 and on the power play 1, by the way, for any of those contending teams. And then one sneaky name definitely want to mention, Johnny Gaudreau for the Calgary Flames. I know he's a superstar. I know maybe it's unlikely he'll get traded, but he is a potential 2022 unrestricted free agent. So not this coming summer, but the following. And the Flames need a shakeup because the Daryl Sutter thing hasn't worked out.
What they're saying is true. With those players that's going to come up in the NHL trade deadline. So once again, this is from Arel Epstein. Follow her at Sports Grid. She's at sportsgrid.com. Also, this is from Laker Nation. Monzel Harrell doesn't know why he was ejected last night in an altercation. So that was the altercation between the Toronto Raptors and the LA Lakers. So that was in last night's game. So that was a incident that happened with Monzel Harrell. That was against the Raptors. So once again, this is from Laker Nation. Go to LakerNation.com. That's LakerNation.com. And we'll go over to Tigers and the Miners for the 3rd time tonight. Chris Blair has confirmed me had thinking the ball a long time ago. So perhaps the ghost of Jim Hawthorne is lingering in Alex Box Stadium press box. So Tommy Chrysan said he's not a baseball announcer. LSU should have a baseball person announcer. So I look at it this way. I say, look, Chris Blair is doing a pretty good job with baseball. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, look, sure, he's not a baseball announcer and stuff like that. He never did no baseball games and stuff like that. But hey, I give him a chance. That's one thing I do. I'm for chances. So I know people it's not going to agree with him sometimes, but I think Chris Blair does a pretty good job doing the LSU play-by-play calls during the baseball, football, and basketball season. I know it's a lot of work. So once again, this is from once again Tigers in the in minors. So follow go minor league baseball. So let's see what else we have to talk about. Okay, we'll scroll it down, and we'll give you. Okay, Kawhi Leonard widely expected to resign with the LA Clippers. So it looks like he's going to stay with the LA Clippers. So that's so once again, this is from Real GM. Go to Real GM. That's realgm.com. Also on Trevor Rosenthal could require an outlet surgery. So this is from MLB Trade Rumors. Go to MLB Trade Rumors on Twitter. That's MLB Trade Rumors. Also, this is from Wilson Alexander. Good news on Zach Arnold. No fracture. His hand feels sore. Paul Maneri has to figure out if he can play or if it's a temporary issue. So that's good news. That's definitely good news right there for the LSU. For LSU, because they don't need no more bad news. They already had bad news with Jaden Hill being out for the season. So I think Zach Arnold, look, if he does play this weekend against Kentucky, then that'll be good. So this is from Wilson Alexander. Follow him at Wilson Alexander. He covers LSU baseball. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go over to the top 5 tight ends for the NFL draft. Kyle Pitts for Florida. Pat Freiermuth from, I think he's from Penn State. Bryven Jordan. Tommy Trustable, also Hunter Long from Boston College. So this is your top 5 tight ends for the 2021 NFL Draft, which will be on the 29th of this month. This is from Johnson Von Springer. He's a reporter with WBRZ. This is a LSU has told lawmakers in the light of threat of litigation from Sharon Lewis. It was probably a person that's associated with LSU. Testified under oath at the Senate committee tomorrow. That's I think that's going to be in the state capitol. So that's a letter right there. This is from the legal counsel LSU. Like I said, they're filing one of those assistant athletic directors is filing a $50,000 lawsuit against LSU on those about those sexual allegations that Darius Geis asked one of those Superdome employees to have sex. So I'll be honest with you, LSU's troubles has just begun. They haven't gone away. They have just begun. So they're gonna have to, like I said, this is right now. This is the complete black eye on LSU's athletic department as of right now. So they're going to have to they're going to have to restore their reputation as being a championship caliber sports program. So also, like I said, Ed Orgeron kind of ignored the Superdome employees' complaints against Darius Geis. So, like I said, there's going to be some heads that are going to be rolling when it comes down to this situation. So, once again, this is from Jonathan Bond Springer. Follow him at WBRC. That's WBRC in Baton Rouge. Okay, this is from Brett McMurphy. Michigan has a home game with New Mexico and Central Michigan, so that is in 2025. So they will be adding 2 more games for on their schedule for 2025. Once again, this is from Brett McMurphy. Follow him at Stadium. Okay, what else we have? Okay, let's see. One more. Reports. There are some hope within the Lakers organization that Anthony Davis will return after our current road trip. So I'm pretty sure if Anthony Davis does return or LeBron James, that can help them out in the long run. So once again, that is my opinion. This is from NBA Central. Go to NBA Central on Twitter. That's NBA Central Central on Twitter. So what else we have before we wrap this up? Okay. Okay. I'm going to scroll it down and we'll give you. Okay, this is came out a few minutes ago. DeMar DeRozan takes wide open approach to free agency. So that's I think that's a good thing for him to take a wide approach to free agency. Once again, this is from Real GM. Go to Real GM on Twitter. That's Real GM on Twitter. And we will wrap it up in just a few moments. Okay, Antonio Davis, the color commentator with the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's see what he had to say. This was on the podcast today.
Much it means when this team still has to play Golden State 3 times. The amount of pressure that comes with that game. And with 22 games to go, we can't continue to say, well, all right, you know what, we got to kick it in gear. All right, now, but we got to kick it in gear. It's a time where you're going to have to put together something that's sustainable, whether it's 4 out of 5 again, 5 out of 6, 5 out of 7, whatever it may be. But playing these games right now, and especially against good teams, especially against really good teams that are also playing for something, it teaches you how to win. You know, sometimes when you're playing against a team that has nothing to lose, there's no consequence with the way they play. But when you're playing against teams, it lets you understand how important 12 minutes of basketball is in a 48-minute game. You look at the last night's game versus Atlanta, that game completely turned in the third quarter. When they go 11-11 from three-point line, they separate themselves. So you learn a lot throughout the course of a season, but when you start getting into the nuts and bolts of the season, toward the tail end of the season, and everything that you do is magnified, good or bad, that experience is invaluable.
Yes. What Antonio Davis is saying, everything. It's when that game yesterday, when that game turned, absolutely turned in that third quarter. I mean, they went 11 for 11 on 3-point shots. They just separated themselves from a bad team like the New Orleans Pelicans. So I'll be honest with you. Look, I don't care if they got to go on a 5-game winning streak. I don't care if they got to go on a 2-game winning streak. Look, we got to get it going. I mean, we got and tonight it's no exception. They have the Brooklyn Nets with those 3 guys with Irvin, Durant, and also Harden. So they're gonna have to overcome those obstacles later on this season. So once again, let's wrap it up. Once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show here on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll be back later on this evening with Pelicans basketball on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll have audio coverage from once again from Bally Sports. Excuse me, I keep saying Bally Sports. We will have that game for you. If you want to come in, video chat with us during the game, or if you want to come in and chat during the broadcast, feel free to do so anytime. Once again, everybody have a good rest of your Wednesday afternoon, and we'll be back later for Pelicans basketball.